For half a century, this country of Asian pagodas, colonial architecture, and rich culture was under military rule, cut off from the rest of the world. But as Myanmar opened itself up in recent years and began reforms, the once isolated country has become synonymous with potential. It is this potential that's drawing many citizens who left the country during its years of isolation back home. During the years before Myanmar opened itself up, many citizens left the country to live abroad because of economic and political restrictions. But many have since returned to their homeland and are supporting the development of their country. Tet Miet U, co-founder of Rangoon Tea House, is one of the returnees. For his leadership potential, the young entrepreneur was included in the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia list. Tet spent his childhood in the UK and returned to Myanmar in 2012 at the age of 22.
But I think where my parents really did a good job was we always, even in the UK, they always filled us in on what the country was like. And my mom used to tell me about how when she was a child, they would only have one bar of soap that they could choose from.
Tet always knew he would return to his country one day.
I'd had such a naive outlook on what this place was like. You know, it's just, you know, I knew all these problems associated politically and all these things you'd read on the news, but for some reason I just didn't. That would never stop me from thinking about coming back.
Being in Myanmar and going back to the UK from time to time gave Tet a vision of the changes needed in his homeland.
I think the most important thing is that the poorest people in the country and the least well off, and you're talking financially, culturally, everything, need to at least benefit from every change that happens. There are the obvious ones like education, healthcare, those are very obvious, but I think the less obvious ones are stuff like insurance. So a lot of my staff, if not most, the majority don't have health insurance.
The streets of Yangon, the country's largest city and its commercial center, are bustling with economic activity. The economist Mong Mong So remembers the time before Myanmar's reform when trade was restricted.
Some limited, you know, even the rice can, you know, we don't move from the one region to another regions. No, we have to take permissions from the authority consents. Now, if markets is required, then we can, you know, trade whatever in the whole Burma area. So I think this is a good opportunity for our peoples.
As market restrictions were lifted, competition among businesses was also encouraged.
We don't have the competition power in the market because, you know, the market is a central market, a planned economy. And now government allow, you know, and also they give a chance to promote all the business to compete in the economy.
Many business owners are benefiting from the recent changes in the economy. Reforms in investment legislation have allowed them to expand. Myanmar's A1 Group specializes in construction. Its executive director, Yi Won-U, is a returnee who spent 11 years in the United States. The things that caught the attention of Won-U in the U.S. were related to her family's business.
Flyover, bridge, infrastructure, now shopping mall, Singapore, shopping mall, high school period chain, now maybe a America.
But it's not only bricks and walls that left an impression on her abroad.
Lifespan solution, health care, health education, sport solution, school education system.
Myanmar's returning citizens stress the need to improve education in their country, among other necessary reforms. In his company, Tet says he sees incredible potential among his employees.
And people here are largely independent and they want to make it on their own, but maybe they don't have the educational background to know how to do it. So I think, you know, I try to take on that role at the restaurant too. I know that if they were in another place in the UK or the US, they have the brain and they have the capacity and they have the ethic to be doing something themselves. They shouldn't be working here.
So I had a photo for a Myanmar photo. တင်ဟိုပါဖြစ်ပေါ်စေမဲ့ဟိုအကြောင်းတရားတွေကလည်းဖန်တီးရမယ် education ဟိုမျိုးတွေအဲ့ဒါမျိုးတွေ program တွေအဲ့ဒါတွေကိုဖန်တီးမှသာလျှင်
Despite recent progress in Myanmar, challenges remain. The international community has praised Myanmar for its reforms, and political developments have given them more freedom to express themselves. Yet, at an economic level, the changes have made little impact on the lives of the general population. While entrepreneurs and big corporations are benefiting from new laws, for some individuals struggling to make ends meet, the story is a little different. The oldest of 7 children, Zuzu, works as a vendor to support her family. Her income is barely enough for her family to meet all their necessities. Still, Zuzu acknowledges the changes sweeping Myanmar. Among the most obvious is the increase in tourism, after Myanmar opened its doors to foreigners interested in visiting the country. Zuzu also feels she has more chances of finding a better job nowadays. In October 2016, the U.S. lifted sanctions against Myanmar. The move is expected to boost the country's economy as it undertakes more reforms.
I'm extremely hopeful. I try to be optimistic, so if you ask me what I think the country is going to be like in a year's time, I would say that I'd like to think that there will be more people here who, more Burmese people who will be in the middle class, more foreigners here who choose to not just come here as tourists, but relocate their lives here.
The pace of progress and reform can be slow, but Myanmar's returnees believe better days are yet to come, and they've returned home precisely to make that happen.